everyone. So today I am back with the part 2 of the chapter Lines and Angles of class 7 mathematics. So let's get started. So what is related angle? We have studied till a straight angle, zero angle, reflex angle. Now it's related angle. So what is related angle? So as the name suggests, they relate to each other in some conditions or in some ways. So let's get started to read some of its types. So, related angles in your class are classified into three types. Number one is complementary angles, and number two is supplementary angles, and number three is adjacent angles. So, we will read them one by one. So, let's begin. Now the very first part of the very first type of this angle means related angle is complementary angles. So what is complementary angles? A pair of angles means two angles whose sum is 90 degree. They are said to be as complementary angles. Now for example, we have taken here an 50 degree angle and 40 degree angle. So if we are doing their sum, it is 90 degree angle. And if we will take 60 degree angle plus 30 degree angle, we are doing their sum, it is 90 degree angle. So they both are means complement of 50 degree is 40 degree and complement of 60 degree is 30 degree. Means complement of 40 degree is 50 degree and complement of 30 degree is 60 degree. So that is what we call complementary angles. They both are complement of each other. So if it is asked in question, like for example, like two angles are in complement, one angle is 40 degree, so find the another one. Means any of the example, like for example I am taking 60 degree, right? So two angles are in complement, one angle is 40 degree or 60 degree, whatever. So 60 degree, find another. So we can easily find, as we know that complementary are there, so of course the sum will be 90 degree. So we can easily find it out, right, by subtracting the given number or given angle by 90, right? So let's move to our next topic, that is supplementary angles. Now what is supplementary angle? So pair of angles whose sum means on adding it up it is coming 180 degree. So these pair of angles are called as supplementary angles. Now here for example, 90 degree angle and 90 degree angle, two pairs are there, means one pair of angle is there, right? So their sum will be 180 degree. So they are said to be supplementary angles. Now they are each other's supplement, right? So 90 degree is supplement of 90 degree, right? So this is all about supplementary and complementary angles. Let's move to our next topic, that is adjacent angles. Now our next topic is adjacent angles. So what are adjacent angles? So the following are listed properties of adjacent angles. If angle is adjacent, so what it is having, means these are the properties of adjacent angles. So two angles are said to be adjacent if they have, means a common vertex, means if they are having a common vertex, a common point from which the angles are arising, and a common arm, means they should have a common arm. One should be a common arm and the next should be non-common arm, but the non-common arm should lie on the opposite sides of the common arm, right? So we can understand it better while getting through the figure. Let's see. So this is an example of adjacent angle. So what is adjacent angle? We have studied that it is having common vertex. So we can see that B is the common vertex here, and the common arm, that is, it is D, right? So Non-common arms are A and C. We all means all the properties are being satisfied here. We are having a vortex, we are having a common arm, that is D, right? This is a common arm, and we are having non-common arm that is lying on the opposite of the common arm. So we are having C that is lying on the opposite, and the A that is also lying on the opposite sides. So we can say that angle ABD and angle DBC, or vice versa, we can say it, right? But the middle point should be, means the vertex point should be in the center only. So we can say that angle ABD and angle DBC are adjacent angles. So let's move through our next topic. So let's move to our next topic, that is linear pair of angles. So what is linear pair of angles? Two adjacent angles are said to be linear pair of angles if their non-common arms are two opposite rays. So what we have studied is still that non-common arms should be opposite on the of the common arm, right? Then the angle is said to be adjacent. But in the linear pair, what is saying that they should be opposite rays, right? So we can understand it better by the figure. So here we can say that these are opposite rays, means ray AO and ray OC are opposite to each other. And what are the other properties? Let's go through the next. They are formed on the same side of line, right? So their sum is 180 degree, means we can say a line is there, a straight line is there. So can we say that it is forming a straight angle, right? So two angles are there, but their sum is 180 degree, so they are supplementary, right? They are supplementary angles. So we can say that angle AOB plus angle BOC are equal to 180 degree, right? And they are formed on the same side of a line, means if any line is drawn, so they are formed on the same side, not on the opposite side, right? So these are some properties of linear pair of angles, and remember their sum is always 180 degree. Now let's move to our next topic, that is what are parallel lines. Now here also we will study some properties of parallel lines. Two lines are said to be parallel if they do not meet anywhere if extended endlessly, means they are not intersecting each other at any point, and if they are extended endlessly, so they are not meeting anywhere, and they don't have a common point, means they are not having a common point, and they are having a definite length between them. If they are not having definite length, means they are intersecting each other, so it will not be parallel line. So let's be clear through the diagram. Now you can see L and M are two parallel lines. So all the conditions are being satisfied here, like they will not meet anywhere if they are extended endlessly, and they are not having any common point, and they are not having any different length. So between them there is a definite length. Okay, let's move to our next topic, that is transversal. Now what is a transversal? On two parallel lines, when a line intersect two parallel lines, so that line is known as transversal. Now let's go through the definition. Like, a line which intersects two or more lines at distinct points is called a transversal. You can be clear when you will see the figure that two lines are drawn. Suppose that L and M are drawn and T is a transversal. So T is intersecting L and M at a distinct point, so it is transversal. Okay, let's move to our next topic. Now our next topic is corresponding angles. So what are corresponding angles? On the same side of transversal, means angles which are formed to the corresponding positions. Corresponding means above or below or left or right to the angle. So angles which are formed to the corresponding positions on the same side of transversal, they are called as corresponding angles. Now what is the property here? Here angle 2 is equal to angle 6 as they are being formed on the same side of transversal, right? And angle 3 is equal to angle 7, right? And similarly angle 1 is equal to angle 5 and angle 4 is equal to angle 8. So let's move to our next topic, that is alternate interior angles. Now our next topic is alternate interior angles. So as the name suggests, interior angles. So they are formed inside the parallel lines, means in the interior of the parallel lines. So in this property of angles, what is there? Angle 4 is equal to angle 6 and angle 3 is equal to angle 5, and they always lie on the opposite of the transversal, means one on the left and another on the right of the transversal, right? So these are formed and their property is key opposite side of transversal. So let's move to our next topic, that is alternate exterior angles. So alternate exterior angles, what are they? Means as the name suggesting, like they are forming on the exterior of the parallel lines, right? So what is the property here? He angle 1 is equal to angle 7, means they are lying on the opposite of transversal, one on the right side, one on the left side, and angle 2 is equal to angle 8. So they are pair of alternate exterior angles as they lie on the opposite side of transversal and are also exterior angles. So without any further, let's move to our next topic, that is co-interior angles. So they are also known as consecutive interior angles, right? So as the name is suggesting, they are forming on the interior side of transversal, means on the interior of the parallel lines. So what happens, the like we are seeing, if we will rotate the figure that is given on the screen, we can see that a straight line is forming, means 180-degree angle is forming here. So when we will add or sum up the angle 3 and angle 6, can't it come like 180-degree? Because straight angle is forming here, right? And on the interior side of the parallel lines it is forming, that is why it is termed as consecutive interior angles. Similarly, we can say that angle 4 plus angle 5, it is equal to 180-degree, right? So that is the property of co-interior angles. Let's move to our next topic, vertically opposite angles. Now what are vertically opposite angles? Now it's vertically opposite angles. So what are vertically opposite angles? When two lines intersect each other, right? So when two lines intersect each other, so the intersection point, at the intersection point some angles are formed, right? So their opposite ones are equal to each other. Like for example, we can see in the figure here, angle is forming, right? Angle COA is forming and angle BOD is forming, so they are equal to each other. So these are the properties of vertically opposite angles. Similarly, we can see that angle COB is equal to angle AOD. Now, these are the characteristics of vertically opposite angles. Now, let's move to our next topic, that is how we test that following is that two given lines are parallel or non-parallel. So we have studied some properties like corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and co-interior angles or consecutive interior angles. So through all these properties we can learn that whether the lines are parallel or non-parallel.